Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise in support of H.R. 6865, the Don Young Coast Guard Authorization Act of 2022, an important piece of legislation that ensures that the United States Coast Guard has the funding that they need to carry out the service's critical missions and keep our borders safe. Today is with both great sadness and great respect that we name this year's Coast Guard Authorization Act after former Transportation Chair and Infrastructure Committee Chair, obviously Chairman Don Young. The passing of the Dean of the House was a surprise to all of us and a tremendous loss for this body. And our thoughts are with his wife, Ann, and his daughters, Joni and Don, and the rest of his family, as well as his current and his former staff. I had the pleasure of serving as a freshman member of the Transportation Committee when Don began his chairmanship in 2001. And as always, he brought his typical passion and zeal to the job. He was always working for Alaska, but also constantly helping other members take care of their constituents. The chairman, as many still called him, always pointed out that Alaska missed the great infrastructure investment of the earlier centuries that had been made in the lower 48, and he was bound and determined to make sure that he made up for lost time. There isn't a city or a borough or a town or village in Alaska that can't point to at least one road, airstrip, harbor, dock, visitor center, or health clinic that Don didn't have some role in establishing, building, authorizing, or funding. Recently, there's been a suggestion to name a volcano in Alaska after Chairman Young, a rugged and enduring part of the Alaska landscape, always with the potential to erupt at any moment's notice, but always warm at its core. Part of me thinks this would be a very fitting tribute as well. And as has been noted many times, it was fitting that he passed away on his way home to Alaska, the state that he loved so much. I will always think of him and smile when I walk by his unofficial but uncontested seat here on the House floor. His passing was truly a loss for the House. In the Transportation Committee, we will always have the almost life-sized portrait watching over us, reminding members of the importance of the work and the bipartisanship it takes to get it done. One of Don's priorities throughout his career, and also one of my priorities, was strengthening the Coast Guard. And this legislation authorizes the purchase of a 12th national security cutter as well as 6 additional fast response cutters to ensure that our Coast Guard is prepared for its current and future role in securing America. During our markup of this bill earlier this month, Don remarked that in his statement that both his support for this bill and, as the chairman pointed out, he had voted on 20 Coast Guard authorizations in his career, and I'm deeply saddened today that he's not going to be able to cast his vote in support of yet one more. Fittingly, H.R. 6865 also includes a provision offered by the late Dean of the House that allows the Coast Guard to keep Russian vessels out of U.S. waters during the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine. With that, Mr. Speaker, I urge support of this important legislation, and I would reserve the balance of my time.